You see, in this life, I will never run out of money. Why? Because I live in a reality where money will always be available to me. When I say this, it's not because I want to brag or anything. Trust me, I'm a very humble girl. But it's just because over time, I've just learned what I need to do to make sure that I never run out of money. And don't be surprised from watching this video that it is the easiest things I do to achieve this. So make sure to sit tight to the end because I'll be sharing with you why I will never run out of money and what I do to make sure that this will continue to be my reality. Now, we need to backtrack a little bit because this will help you to understand why this will continue to be my reality. Then later on we'll talk about the reasons or the things you need to start doing to make sure that this too can become your reality. So I remember when I was in secondary school, right? SS1. In Nigeria we call this senior secondary school. I don't really know about other school. You know, other countries they might have high school and all that, you know, to all our Americans, UK people watching. But in Nigeria we call this senior secondary school. So at this point I was in SS1. So you have SS1, SS2, SS3. Before you now write your WAEC and then you know you prepare for university and all that. Well, at this point I was in SS1, and all my life I've always believed that I was going to be an art student. I never really saw sciences in my view and SS1 is that time where you are just doing general courses. There's really no science or art student, but then this period still shapes whether you are going to be choosing art or sciences. So at this point we were still very neutral. But then one day my reality changed. I ended up becoming the science student I never thought I would, become. But why was this? So there was this particular day, our chemistry teacher, because like I told you, everybody does all the subjects, chemistry, all the social sciences. So our chemistry teacher had set an impromptu test for us. We're in the lab. We'd never really planned that there was going to be a test. So our chemistry teacher did this and everybody was very surprised. Not only were we surprised that there was a test, but we were very surprised that the test was the hardest thing ever. We were all looking at each other. We did not really know like what the answer to this question was. Like it was so confusing that day. But then out of everybody, your girl decided to just go with what she knew. And the question was basically like, write the relationship between so and so. If you are familiar with chemistry, like change. I've forgotten like the nitty-gritties of the question, but there was this change. There were just so many things anyways, but I decided, okay, at the end of the day I don't know the answer. Instead of just leaving my paper blank, I decided to just write the formula for this. Lo and behold, guess who got 10/10? I was the only one that came out successful in that test. But this did not, should I say, my journey did not really last for long, or I did not really think that me getting 10/10 was going to be what would change the course of my life completely. Because at the end of the day, my chemistry teacher thought it wise to say that, okay, because you got 10/10, like you will be very good as a chemistry student. Do you know that even when I've never thought of chemistry, this shows you how like influential our teachers, our parents are in whatever they tell us, especially when we are young, where we don't really know what decision to do and all that. Do you know that because of this statement that my secondary school teacher made, who made it his point of duty to continue to remind me that I was a chemistry student, I ended up graduating as a chemistry student. That is why till today now, I even went on to university to still become an industrial chemistry graduate. But while in university later on, after my secondary school, I found out that, okay, after my first semester, I found out that, okay, the friends that I had at this period, they were not really going to help me to achieve the ultimate goal I wanted, because I was one that never really liked anything concerning failure. You see, even when I was just an average student, but I just liked to make sure that I passed. Especially when in secondary school, I've experienced my fair share of being the most average of the average, even failing sometimes and all. But then I just grew up to become this person that never really liked when they say, okay, this thing will never work. My own is, it will work, it must work. You see, it will definitely work. And this belief has stuck with me for a very long time. So in secondary school, in my university, when all my friends that I had at that point were not really influential in the grades I had, because the people you stay with, they really influence how you turn out, apparently. And it is a reality. I've experienced this, especially in this time frame I'm talking about. So after my first semester in 100 level, I decided, okay, these friends are not going to help me to achieve what I want, because I don't want to fail. And I'd already failed one course in this 100 level chemistry, and I'm not really a good chemistry student. My teacher just put it in my head, so I decided to go with it, and now I failed one course. Do you know that when the results came out, I went to the board, scanned through everybody that passed. The next semester, I made sure that all of them, they became my friends. it was like, when you say you have a goal, I made sure that they became my friends. I now started studying with them. Guess who the next do you know when the next result came out? Guess who came out with all C's? Like, we wrote 9 courses and I came out with 6 C's. Just because I made one simple decision of changing my friends. You know, from getting D's and E's, even 1 F, to getting 6 straight C's. Like, that was a huge miracle. And it really showed me how influential, and especially when I had the belief that, you know, I will never fail. And I told God, I will try my best, but make sure. And the funny part is that I said I need to have nothing less than C. And results came out, I got 6 C's. You know that the next semester again, my prayer point changed. While still keeping this, my friends who were very influential in me being able to study enough to get 6 straight C's, I decided to wish for B's. Guess whose reality became B's? So, you know, like that idea of believing that, I will never fail, I will get what I want, I will pray about it, but I'll work hard at it so that my prayers will be answered. And God will see that, okay, this person has tried her best, let me give her what she wants. This was what my reality was. And guess who graduated with 2-1 in chemistry? I graduated with a 2-1 in chemistry, industrial chemistry for that matter. And in my school then, chemistry was like the worst because our lecturers were the most. Let me not say anything that will make this video to be flagged, but you get what I'm trying to say here. Like, it was not the best, but I was still able to graduate with 2-1. One, because I had the strong belief that I can never fail. I had the strong belief that when I ask God for something, He will give it to me. I had the strong belief that, you know, the friends I had were going to influence whether I will come out with what I want or whether I will remain like I am, you know, before I made these friends. So this really shaped, you know, everything. So this should help you to understand why I strongly believe that, you know, I can never run out of money. Because the mindset you have towards life really influences how things will turn out for you. I've been saying this a lot. It's because I've had experiences that have shown me that the mindset you have towards things influences how things turn out for you. You know, the first one being in the aspect of belief, being that I was lucky. But luck is basically for those who are still prepared. So you know that, you know, you being lucky has to do with, you know, how you position the things in your life. So there's that luck and that belief that is backing my luck, making sure that I explore the opportunities out there to make sure that, you know, I get what I want. So that is the very first aspect in, you know, the things I do to make sure that I achieve what I want. The second one, having this unhealthy obsession about being wealthy. So recently I watched a video where Ali Abdal talked about this, and I was like, this is something I think I can relate very well with. Like, I think I have this unhealthy obsession about being wealthy. I won't deny that. While it might seem like a very bad thing, but even from watching that Ali Abdal's video, I was very, like, it felt very relatable, because it's not just about focusing on the part that says that, okay, this is an unhealthy obsession or whatever, but like, what is it doing to help you to achieve that your ultimate goal? Like, how is it influencing your decisions, your everyday activities? Like, what are you doing? Are you taking advantage of all the opportunities out there? Like, you know, so basically, like, this is very important if you are to achieve your goal. At least for me, I have an unhealthy obsession about being wealthy, so I know that I will never run out of money, because I will constantly be looking for all the opportunities and taking advantages of them. So now that we've talked about, you know, like the mind aspect, like, you know, you need to have the right mindset and all that. Now let's talk about the practical things I do to make sure that this will continue to be my reality, because I never want to run out of money, and I will never run out of money. The very first one, which is quite generic, if I may say so myself, or which is like, you know, what you would expect, is having a high-paying job. Like, I've talked about my job several times on this channel, but not necessarily that I've dived deep into, like, you know, what I do and all that, but just know that I work in the finance industry. But working in the finance industry in a company where at least you have a well-paying job is one thing you need to know. That, okay, you know, people don't really talk about this aspect. They just talk about, you know, do this, do that, but then they don't tell you that you having a well-paying job influences whether you can even come here and sit down and talk about money, because, you know, you having the money means that you are able to use this money to invest, use this money to save, use this money to achieve the lifestyle that you want. So it is not really talked about, but having a high-paying job is very important if you are to achieve this. I'm very honest with you, and it is one thing that has really, you know, taken me, or at least opened the gateway for me to do so many things that I've done right now. The second one is investing in treasury bills. Go and watch my video where I talked about the 7 ways I make money. Treasury bills is one of them, investing in treasury bills. So I've made a deep dive video on how treasury bills work. Go and check out those videos. But me making sure that, you know, over time I've just created this situation whereby every single month I have interest coming from treasury bills, means that I have been able to say, okay, my salary is this. I know it is big, but it's not that big enough to help me to achieve the lifestyle that I want. So how do I now position myself in such a way that I will continue to have money? And it is by investing in treasury bills. So every month I just know that, okay, aside from my salary, I have this extra income coming from somewhere, and it has been really helpful. Next is investing in a business. Investing in a business is one thing that I never thought was going to come into my life, but it came, and it has been a very, just imagine you are getting your salary, you are getting interest from treasury bills, you are not getting interest from investing in a business. Like, it is the best feeling ever. So I just know that money will always come. It is now how I position this my money to make sure that till I grow gray hairs, I will continue to have money. This is very important. Create many income streams. Like, I've talked about the ones that I have created so far, or some of the ones I've created so far. So making sure that I always have money coming in here and there is one of the ways, or one of the setups that I've done in my life that has made it possible or impossible for me to ever run out of money. Learning a skill to earn more money. Aside from learning a skill, you can also bag certifications that will make sure that your portfolio is, you know, gallant, so that when opportunities come, you are one of the options that will be chosen. But learning a skill is something that has become very important in our lives today, because now, like, the world is moving at a fast speed. AI is becoming the order of the day. The other day my sister was telling me, like, why are you always going to ChatGPT for this? And I'm like, ChatGPT is already our reality. It's a matter of how you take advantage of these things and how you position yourself that you're not losing your intelligence, but then you're taking advantage of this AI option. So learn a new skill, whichever one you find interesting, anyone that will be relevant in the nearest future, even in the current future, in the current present, just anything. It will definitely help you on your journey to building wealth. So these are some of the things I do. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to be the one that is going to sugarcoat everything. So I basically do all these things. Just go back and watch them again. These are all the things I do basically. Aside from having the right mindset, I need to be practical about what I'm trying to achieve here. And if you start taking, you know, these steps that I've just talked about, you find that it will become easier and easier for you to, you know, make sure that in your life you never run out of money. Because you see, that fear of not having money, it is a real thing, and I don't want to ever find myself in that place. So I've just learned what I need to be doing over time to make sure that I will continue to have money and I will never run out of money. Now, I would love to hear from you. Do you have the same belief as me? Do you believe that you will never run out of money, or do you constantly have that fear that, you know, money is far from you, like you will never have money, you constantly, you know, like you're afraid of this? I know it is a real thing, so I will not disregard that, but I would love to hear from you in the comments, because we're all trying to learn here. And just like I've shared with you the things I do to make sure that I never run out of money, you can also share with me what you do, or how you are tackling this your fear that is stopping you from, you know, earning more money and doing the things that will help you to live a fruitful life. I'll see you guys in my next video. If you really enjoyed this video, you might want to click that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and, you know, come back for more. I have more videos. Just go to my page. There's so many more like that. So let's go to the next video, guys.